Good afternoon. Happy Sunday. I am your host, Miss TML. You are now tuned in Up North City Girls Relationship Sundays. And we have a very special guest with us today. He goes by the name D Sharp International. You can find him on all social media platforms by that. Multi talented producer, songwriter, A&R, uh, branding, development, everything under your belt is just phenomenal. And I want to just give you your flowers today, D, because you were somebody that I came across on Facebook. However, we know a lot of the same people in Boston in the music scene, things like that. So I started following you, and I was just totally, captivated by your choice and genre of music and the style of artists that you were working with. And I was totally impressed and inspired. And it just taught me that, not to put myself in a box in the Boston hip hop scene. And, because those are the things that I always wanted to do. I always wanted to be not just, one dimensional when it came to what type of artists I worked with, So when I seen you doing that and just getting the accolades that you've accomplished, it's like, I'm like, this is the type of person I want to work with. And long and behold, fast forward 7 years of us being friends. And the last year, we just learned that we are second cousins. And that was like totally taken back because I was like, what do you mean my grandfather is your uncle? And it just our grandparents are brother and sister. So it's crazy because it's like, it's a small world. Boston is a small place and you just never know. Like we say, the stars align. And, I've always wanted to work with someone family wise in the music industry. And I just felt like this was where it was supposed to be. So welcome. I know that was long-winded. I'm long-winded.
No, you had to get it out right. I think you got it right. And that was timed. I think it was actually like 1:20. Well, good for you. You got it down. You're a professional. It runs in the family.
It runs in the family. That's what I said. I said, listen, he likes music like I like music. Growing up on my father's side, my grandparents, they're very into church, so a lot of my musical influence came from that side of the family. And just going to church and my grandmother was in the choir. She's still in the choir. And it just, it was something that I always felt a sense of belonging and a sense of where I had a voice and just things like that. And I always wanted to learn and be creative. So that for me was like how I got that. And my dad always said, you got that from me, so it's funny that I finally get to meet a cousin that actually is in the same industry and in the same region. It was just like, it was so heartfelt. Like I said, it was so many reasons that I was, intrigued by you. But then to find out 7 years later that we're related, I was like, what's the chances of this? Like that's awesome. Great. So I'm glad we got this chance to tell our story.
Yeah, I'm glad. And like I told you earlier before we went on, there are no mistakes in life. Everything is going to happen the way it's supposed to happen. And I believe that before we even get into, talking about relationships, I believe that in relationships. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. If she's going to cheat, she's going to cheat. If he's going to cheat, he's going to cheat. But I'll wait. I digress. I just wanted to say that everything happens for me.
Absolutely. So I think one of the questions when I was going,
you're right now. You're in Colombia.
I'm in Bogota, Colombia right now.
So we do have a little delay. Ow!
I've been hearing you fine.
Did you hear that, Denise?
Fine.
I did.
I don't know if Denise can hear you. Okay. Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
So Denise actually.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Denise has actually visited Colombia, so I felt like this would be a good conversational piece for her.
What part of Colombia are you in?
I've been to Cali, Colombia.
No, I thought she said you're in Colombia now.
Oh no, I'm over here in Boston. but I've been to
Oh,
Cali,
okay. I was about to
Colombia.
say, okay. Cali,
Yeah.
Colombia is good. Cali's very beautiful.
What part of Colombia are you in?
I mean, so here's the thing. It's not, I don't want to say it's not as beautiful as Cali. Cali is more on the beaches and stuff, but I'm in Bogota, which is the capital. So if you can think of like New York City, where like that's like the hub, you got 8 million people on an island. Here in Bogota, you got well over 12 million people, and it's worse. If you've ever been in New York, which I'm sure both you ladies have, this is New York City. Listen, this is New York City on steroids, just in terms of compactness and people. I love Bogota, but I do not like the traffic.
Yeah,
Really?
well, Cali only has like a river. Cali doesn't even have any beaches near it either. But Cali is very clean. It's very clean, very city. The people are very kind. The food is very good. And I have a friend that she lives over in Cali, Colombia. But I am planning on returning to Colombia to go either to Bogota or to Cartagena, or just to continue to see the country itself, because I love traveling. It's not the only country I've been to.
No, go to Cartagena first before you go to Bogota. Go to Cartagena.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna take your advice. Are there any other countries you've been to, D?
Japan. I've been to Japan, Mexico, but right now I don't know what it is, guys. I guess you can call them. I just love Central America, but I love Colombia in particular. It could be just because of the house. It's so warm, so pleasant. I've had good experiences in every part I've visited, but I'm big on Colombia just as a whole right now.
And I mean, over there, the women are beautiful.
This is like,
What'd you say?
I said, and over there, the women are beautiful. The women are beautiful. The money stretches. The food is good. The economy, if you're somebody that's producing, you're well able to live very well over there. I mean,
but you know what? Excuse me. It's not just about that, but the biggest thing, though, serious, that I love about here is it's more about how you like feel. It's more family oriented. Like,
absolutely.
Granted, everything you said is true, but the one thing that I love about just in Colombia that in my opinion, that I've experienced is there's just more of a sense of community. Like, everybody is people know each other. They're more family oriented, so I love that the most too.
And I see that a lot in other. Yeah, I see that in a lot of countries that I go to, like in Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, Colombia. I see that they're way more, I want to say, family orientated. They look out for one another. They're religious. A lot of them are like really religious. They just take care of their own people. They take care of the children around them. And that's something that you don't really see a lot here in the United States. You don't see a lot of unity. You don't see a lot of happy going people. The warmer the country, the bigger the smiles, the happier the people, And
here's what's crazy on top of that is they have less than us and they're just more loving.
Mm-hmm.
They have less than us and they're more loving. So I don't know.
Absolutely. Right. That's
right.
Great.
So let's get into it. We're gonna let's get into it in regards to these questions, because I know, we don't want to get too far off topic. I want to give D his full, hour of conversation here, and just talk about relationship dating. First, D, I want to ask you, just our previous questions, just because I feel like it's open-ended. I want to just hear what your thoughts are. Should you tell your partner if you cheat on them?
I mean, absolutely. You tell anybody. That's just not part. Listen, I live my life on certain principles, and principles are few these days. But one of them is never to mislead people, and that's the one thing I learned. Especially, I learned that hardest in a relationship. Like that, the worst feeling in the world, the only feeling that's worse than death, is being betrayed. You're putting your all into somebody. You're saying, "I love you. I'm with you. I'm giving my all to you, and that person agrees on that, and you don't, and then you hold on, but then you find out they weren't upholding it. That shit hurts, man. That hurts.
Right. I think this
being vulnerable.
Yeah, I think when you can't trust someone, I think that's the ultimate, like, just I can't trust you. It's like I don't even want to deal with someone I can't trust. You know what I'm saying? Or I don't know what they're capable of doing. And I think that's
here's the other thing, depending on who you talk to, because some people, and it's crazy because some people, cheating is cheating. Let's get that out. But if you don't tell somebody, you're just a piece of S, and I'm not messing with you. Yeah, however, if you do cheat and you came out and you said it, I give you half a point for that. How you choose to deal after that is different, But if I don't want to deal with the person, that's just not going to say that person. No, if you're just going to not say nothing, no, that's wrong. That's wrong.
Right. How do you feel about an open relationship?
Depends on. I'm in my 40s now, so I mean, depends on what age I'm at. If we talk about that. If you're in your 20s, no. Asking me now, no, I'm not really open to it. And once again, we got to talk about commitment. We got to talk about what's the relation? Is it a committed relationship? Is it an open relationship? So I always see things differently. An open relationship is what I'm basically doing now. I'm traveling, meet girls in different cities, and it is what it is. So that's one thing. But if we're in a committed relationship, that's different.
Right.
I think that was like a question me and Taji was looking at when we were looking at your profile. And, in one of the questions, we was like, is this the same female in all these pictures? Because it was a different female in every picture. I said, okay, D. Okay, D.
No, but listen, Denise, you know why it works well? I'm not lying. Every person, every interaction, everybody knows what it is from the beginning. So I sleep good at night. I sleep good at night. I can try to. It is what it is. Now I'm the type. See, I'm big. The problem with people today, there's no accountability. If I tell you, yo, T, I'm with you. I'm going to do A, B, and C. There's no in between. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
That's the great part. Right. That's the great thing, that you're being precise, you're being clear, you're setting boundaries up front, you're being precise with exactly what it is that you're gonna give. You don't come like with this fake, oh, I'm the man and I'm a wife you type of character like a lot of people do, right? When they first come to you, they want to knock you off of your heels, they want to fill your mind up, your heart, and then like a week or two later, you're starting to see the red flags, the inconsistencies. So I think that with you setting, what's going to go on up front, you're allowing whoever it is to agree to that. So now you guys have a mutual agreement. If I was to ever consider an open relationship where somebody said, this is what's going to go on, they've given me the opportunity to say yes or no. Now, after that, however you act will teach me how to act with you. Exactly. We can act accordingly.
You know what?
And I don't match energy. I walk away.
Dating can be so simple. And I tell this to a lot of the younger guys. They call me OG, which is the craziest thing to hear. Yep. I tell this to a lot of listen, there's no need to lie to a woman. You don't have to do it. You know what I'm saying? Right. She knows who you are from she's going to know who you are. But just for me, because I just can't. It don't feel right, back in the day, some guys, I got her, and you're lying to them. That's not, what's cool is not, right. You're smooth enough that everybody knows what it is and you can walk through life. I don't like drama. I don't know. Yeah. I'm allergic to drama, so I don't need all that.
Right.
That's right.
It's true, and that's the thing is I think people would live a simpler life if they just were honest and clear and transparent. And I think that's the biggest problem and misconception with, why people lie and deceive people on who they really are, what what their real intentions are. You know what I'm saying? Because if your real intentions is just to hit it and quit it, okay, be honest and be upfront. I respect a man doing that than misleading me and having me think that it's going to be this whole, you know, white picket fence and, you know, things like that. I think that's the part of me that, you know, a lot of people respect, is that I can respect your choices. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that that's how we have to be in life, is just respecting other people's choices and not trying to change them. I think a lot of women try to change men, and they say, oh, I'm going to get him to fall in love and he's only going to want me, and they think the power is in between their legs, and it's really not. You know what I'm saying? Like, ultimately it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's a man is going to go where he feels comfortable, where he feels safe, where he feels loved. So if you keep giving those type of boundaries and expectations to him and he's not ready for that, it's only going to push him further away. You know what I'm saying? Let him decide. I feel like let the person decide, this is where I want to be. You know what I'm saying? Not a person forcing you into, this is where I want you to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never wanted to be that person that trapped someone. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times people be like, oh, you know, I got him because I did A, B, and C, you know, and went crazy. It's like, no, life is too short for that. Like, if I got to do all that, if I got to chase you and wonder and question everything, then this is probably not meant to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's the biggest thing is in relationships nowadays, is like the questioning. If you got to constantly question your partner, and then it's probably not going to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to have transparency.
Absolutely. And I think like one of the biggest
misconceptions is ultimatum.
Yeah, I think like one of the biggest misconceptions in relationships too is a lot of people want to see the potential in the other person. We can't live off of potential, you know? We have to live by exactly what it is. A lot of people have good talk. You have to pay attention, and you can't just, I see a lot of people ask the same person the same question, like, do you love me? Do you respect me? If you're even asking these questions, you probably shouldn't be with this person, because you can feel when someone's genuine with you and when somebody's trying to force something, you know? And I'm like, T, I feel like if I got to chase you, if I got to question you, at my age in our 40s, we're not doing that. Exactly. Because if you know who you are and what you possess, and you know your own story, and you know what you have to offer, why are you going to keep on minimizing yourself to fill up someone else's cup? You know, I'm looking for somebody that's coming with their cup full just like mine. And that's just me.
I agree.
Yep.
Right.
So what was the other question that you had, T?
The other question was, are you better off with or without a partner? But I think we kind of just, you know, talked about that. You know, I think it all depends on the person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like me and my lifestyle and the way you know, men are very intimidated. They're like, you got all these guys around you. You're in the industry. You got to be screwing one of these rappers. And I'm like, no, these are my clients. Like, I always lived the life of don't mix business with pleasure. You know what I'm saying? So for me, that was how I started off. I never wanted to be in a relationship with anybody that I worked with. Long and behold, time unfolds, and you start to build this chemistry with the people that you're closest to and the people that you're around consistently. If we're working together constantly and together, eventually something might arise and feelings might change. You know what I'm saying? So I learned to say never. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's best to have a relationship with somebody that you work with as well. You know what I'm saying? But it all depends on how you guys deal with it and how you respect each other's boundaries, I think, in the industry. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's our main topic today, is industry dating, and, you know, dating someone who's an entertainer or in the entertainment field. How do you deal with that?
I mean, me personally, I've only dated 2 people within the industry. And to be honest, it made more sense just on the fact of, so I was dating one person was an artist. So I get it. When you're an artist, for a female artist, the model is a all the guys have to want to be with you and all the girls have to want to be like you. So I understand that. Does that mean she's out here? And you got to appear to be single. So that's the main thing when it comes to females. So that never really intimidated me. Now, if I'm just a regular, 9-to-5 accountant or whatever, that I may not be as understanding of that. So I think honestly, overall, it makes more sense for people who are in, especially when you talk about music. You got to remember, talking about music, you're talking about a lot of ego. There's a lot of ego, just a whole bunch more that comes into play when you're talking about music. So I think, at least for artists, I think it probably makes more sense for people who are within the music industry, to date within that industry, because they're just going to be more understanding of why the hell is T coming in at 2 a.m. in the morning? Ain't no self-respectable woman coming in at T. What you talking about? You was interviewing T. You know what I'm saying? So it would make more sense for you to date some or be in a relationship.
That's right. It's hard, D. Like it's after me being, married and then really starting after that this real music career, and it was hard. It's still hard. You know what I'm saying? It's challenging. I've been single for so long. I don't know what it's going to be like to be in a relationship. I'm scared of that at this point.
I have a question for you.
I'm scared.
I have a question for you. So when you were married, was it somebody that was like kind of within the industry, or was it somebody who didn't know anything about what you were looking to get into as far as music?
He wasn't. He did music in Jamaica, but he wasn't like in the industry at that point at all. Now he is. Now he works directly with Live Nation, QC, quality control. Like he's a big investor through Live Nation now. And I felt like that was part of me, like, because he felt like he had to do something that was related to what I was doing. But we were from two totally different genres of music. You know what I'm saying? Like I was into hip hop, he was into reggae. So it was like I had to, decide, like, okay, we did, a couple of parties and events together and things like that. But again, it's a whole different world when it comes to the reggae world. And I just felt like I wasn't there. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, this is not my lane. This is not what I know in regards to the culture. And, so it was a little more for me, like, okay, I'll help you, but as far as, that's where our world started to clash. You know what I'm saying? Because now all the Jamaican girls are chasing him and he's at all the parties and he's the man to know. And everybody's like, what happened? Your husband was so quiet and reserved, and he just stepped out and became this person, and it's like, I look back at that and I say, maybe that's what changed our relationship in a lot of senses. You know what I'm saying? Because at that point, I was just getting my feet wet. I was still deciding whether or not to be an artist, So for me, it was, at the end of my 20s, like we got married, I was 26. So by the end of my 20s, like I was like, all right, it's either now or never. I'm not competing with Beyonce, Nicki Minaj. I'm not doing any of that. I would rather take what I've learned and teach someone else and pull the next artist along or the next person that I feel is going to be able to utilize the resources and the information that I have. So for me, it was very life-changing, but I felt like, now I look back at it and I'm like, we could have made it work. I just was more scared of, the possibilities of all the girls and the situations. And, you get, like you say, the ego plays a big factor in this, and you have to be confident. You have to be, selfless in a lot of senses to share your person with the world. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things that I say about any significant other of an entertainer or a person who's not in the media or has no, connections to this other than their partner, is you have to be selfless. You have to be like, okay, this person is going to put their career first. You know what I'm saying? And they've been putting their career first. That's why they're where they at. And I think that's the part with me that is challenging now, is because I feel like I'm pursuing something that I'm passionate about, that this is what I want to do. And there's men who are trying to date me, but I'm like, listen, hold on. I have to get my career and my, what I'm doing in order first. Like, I can't date you like that, like, so they're
Yeah.
like, why I'm out, if I'm important to you, you should want to put me, somewhere there, but I can't give you everything that I feel like you deserve. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard. It's hard. It's not easy. What do
Yeah,
you
for
think,
sure.
D? How do you feel? Like,
No,
as far as,
oh,
yeah,
I
go
think
ahead.
that a lot of people, they find that this type of attention is great, right? Okay, my man is a rapper, a reggae artist, a DJ, etc. And they love the attention. You ain't never been to a party and meet somebody and just connect with them and be like, oh my God. And you can see, but then when you realize, like T says, that part of this is being selfless and having to know to be confident enough to share your partner and know that he's gonna respect you. In the music industry, it's very difficult. Maybe out of every 10 artists, 3 actually fall through and respect. And the other 7 want the clout. They want the females that is out there. They want the ones touching the toes and jiggling the bum. And yeah, they like that. I mean, a man is a man at the end of the day. And if you're out there, like in the music industry, what are you working with? Besides other men, you're working with women, and the temptation is there. So I think that after seeing many artists have successful relationships that later died within their career, it's easy to understand how the temptation is there. And personally, I would have to think a couple times, to kind of like date anybody that's probably in that field, only because I feel like I can be selfless, but I don't think I could trust you to pull through on your part. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not staying up to 2 or 3, because in our 40s, we get bags, things start to get different, and you're not stressing me out, honey. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
All up to you. You go watch them in the stilettos. I got stilettos too. If you don't want to come see mine in here, go see it outside. But pick and choose, But personally, I give a shout out to all the women that are out there dealing with people in the music industry and holding it down. And they're able to say, I don't care if he cheats. At the end of the day, he's mine.
Yeah.
I applaud y'all, because at the end of the day, is anybody truly yours?
Mm-hmm.
Pick and choose wisely, whatever it is that you want, right?
We all got choices.
There you go. Free will. What's up with what do you think about that, D?
Would
you be okay?
Just to add on to what T and what you got, it sounds like to me, I mean, in any situation, what I've learned, it's about balance. It's always going to be give and take. I saw a message somebody posted, it was a female, and she said, oh, girls, if he's not willing to change for you, he's not the guy for you. And I was like, well, why would somebody have to change? What about compromise? You know what I mean? I believe in balance. Like, if I'm attracted to you and you're attracted to me, just naturally off the gate, there's something natural there. I don't really want to change that, but there is going to be a compromise because you're bringing 2 entities together. So there always has to be balance. And it sounds to me like that's kind of what, you guys are saying. And understanding, you got to have an understanding of what you're getting into. There are some women who are dating and sometimes even married to people in entertainment, and they already know what they're getting into. They're like, listen,
they worried
doing this thing, but I'm in the big house. I got the big house.
Mm-hmm.
I got an expense account. So it's about balance and understanding. It's about knowing what you're getting into and just balancing it out.
And I think that those are the women that are like at the top tier levels, right? That have like them professional rappers, artists, entertainment people out there. But could you imagine being with somebody in the industry and they're broke and you're over here working and you got to deal with the infidelities and you got the, like you say, maybe if it's I'm sitting in the big house in a big boat and you're doing whatever, go eat all you want, bro. I'll be back. I'll be right here sun tanning. I'll be getting pretty. But when you come back, I'll be right here. Right. I can take some, but compromise myself for somebody that don't even have their stuff together, that they're trying to get up there. They don't even know if they're going to be successful, and they're doing the most.
That's what, you know what, that's the situation that really upsets women. It's like, yo, I cooked this man's food. I'm holding it down for him. I'm supporting his little rap dream. He's out here. He ain't hit it yet, but I'm believing. I'm hoping. I'm believing. And he gonna go out here. He gonna get another chick pregnant, and he can't even afford like be stuff like that.
Right.
That's what that's the type of stuff that be sending women over the top. You know,
Yeah.
you know what? Well, I am taken care of. So
I think it would change. It changes in circumstances when you're taken care of. I always said, you know, the funny thing about me is I've always had free will in that sense of free spirit. Like I said, I never wanted to feel like I trapped somebody. So an open relationship to me back in the day was an option at some point, I guess. Like for me, I was like, oh, as long as I'm taken care of, as long as I'm number one and he don't put it in my face, I don't care what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if it was just the fact that I just wasn't confident enough to feel like I should be the only one, but it was more so because I understood human nature and opposites attract, and I never wanted to feel like you had to lie to me about desiring somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like you could sleep with someone but not have genuine feelings for them. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Or be in love. So
Absolutely.
for me, I'm like, he might love me, but he gets a certain feeling or a certain something else from her. And that's okay. But have that conversation. You know what I'm saying? And I just seen something where Nene Leakes said she approves of cheating, of dating. Like she's okay with that and outside of a relationship. And I'm like, why are women now becoming so much more okay with it? I think a lot of it has to do with just understanding that human nature, and nobody wants to play the fool anymore. You want to feel like if you got to cheat on someone, why not just be single? You know what I'm saying?
let me stop you there for a sec. Here's what some men, depending on who you talk to now, some men will say, well, back in biblical days, kings had the queen, right? Kings had the queen, and then they had, you know, what do they call them? And she knew what it was, but a lot of times when a king married a queen, a lot of times it was for financial purposes to bring kingdoms together. Which is why a Beyonce and a Jay-Z is one of my favorite couples out of the industry.
It is.
You understand? Sometimes it ain't always about love, but it's about you know,
business, the union,
yeah.
and what you.
And it's about the respect too.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but we ain't living in King Solomon's days, you know, when we could have orgy parties and all of this, because I feel like the world has, you know, advanced so much that all of this has been going on for years. But with technology being available, it's easier to shame people, easier to put the images out there, easier to put the business out there. It's transmittable more quickly than when there wasn't a phone or there wasn't a beeper. Cheating's been a thing from the beginning of time because the flesh is something that is very weak. Who doesn't like a pretty girl? Who doesn't like a confident man? And who don't like sex? If we want to get straight to the nitty gritty, you know? Mm-hmm. And I think that confidence doesn't have anything to do with you wanting to be number one. I think it's all about, like you say, kind of like free will. Am I ready for a relationship with this person? What is it that I want? Some people are okay going outside. I feel like one of my biggest problems with having an open relationship is this. A lot of people don't like to protect themselves. And I'm somebody, I be in my house and I be at work. So if I'm in my house and at work and you're outside, what's going to go on the day that you come and you make me sick or something? You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to take it lightly because I'm in my 40s. Even when I was in my 30s and in my 20s, thank God I've never been like an outsider. But I don't want nobody giving me anything. You know, the drama, I can disconnect it. I can disconnect my phone. I can click off of my social media. I could shut the world down because I don't care about none of this. I care about what I got going on in my house and in my money. But
no,
what do you
and
do?
I want to touch on that. And that's what really upsets me about these idiots who walk around talking about how many women they get to sleep with. I'm like, bro, you're playing with somebody's health, first of all.
Right.
That's why I never saw I never saw like that as an accolade. I mean, great. We men, we like to see with women, great. But if you're lying to somebody, playing with their health and stuff, and doing all you with men, women, men, whatever, that's not cool to me. I really don't like that. That's not cool. That's why I always prefer him being honest. Because that way we both went in this together with a clear understanding of what is going on. But as soon as somebody, starts with the BS and lying, I have no respect for anybody who behaves inhonorable like that. I have no respect for that.
Absolutely. And
that's for a man or a woman, because just as bad as the men are, the women
forget it. Yeah. They are too. I mean, and the thing is too, like, if you tell me you're giving me an option that even if I want to stay with you, I know I'm going to protect myself with you.
Right.
So now you're protecting me and you're protecting you. But don't be coming up, I missed you, baby girl, and I've been waiting. You know what I'm saying? You're the only one. Like, am I? You know what I'm saying? Hey. Come here, let me inspect you real quick. Let me see where you've been at. You feel me?
Well, and that's the thing is, like, I seen a post the other day that basically said, if I ask you for a STD test and you get an attitude, you're done. We're done. I'm hanging up on you. Never call me again. And that's true, for real. Like, and some dudes will get upset. Like, what you mean you don't trust me? Like, what the fuck you mean I don't trust you? Like, no, I don't trust you. I don't know you. I don't know what you do from day to day. So how can I trust you like that? How do I know that? Not even that. I think sometimes men are very naive into thinking that there's women out here that are not sleeping with multiple men. And not just multiple men on a weekly basis, on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying?
And they also get the idea, T, that, she looks good, so she's healthy.
Right. Like, dude, you can't be like this in 2020.
Those be the ones. Those be the ones.
That's what I always say. Them healthy ones with those cocktails that they got out there nowadays, they be looking all buff and all shiny. That's the medical industry that's holding them up. You know what I'm saying? So don't be the one and I don't want to be the one either, that because of you, I fall. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
right.
It's funny because my doctor told me, he was like, if you slip up while you're in Colombia, we got something we can give you as soon as we can give you. Like, what?
Yeah, they got like this 24-hour meds that if you think you could have been contracted like to HIV or something, it's emergency, like it's like an emergency backup thing, But I'm like, Jesus, why would you even put yourself there?
Right.
Just if you ain't at home and that ain't your person, strap it up. I mean, we all know how good it feels skin to skin. But skin to skin also leads to a lot of attachments and misunderstandings. Exactly. Use your protection. Do your thing. You're going to bust your nut no matter what. And so isn't she. Feel me?
Well, but not
it's all honesty. I don't know.
Like, so tell me, D, what would you say is the biggest challenge for you with dating right now?
I'll tell you what was and what I accepted. What was, and the thing is, I've been more focused.
When was your last relationship, matter of fact? Because you told me you guys just, your ex-girlfriend. Every time somebody say ex.
I know, because I swear to you, every time when I say I'm going into a relationship, I go with a clear mind. I'm like, I'm going to do everything right this time. All that. I do all that. And for some reason, I don't know. For some reason, I don't know. So what's been the biggest issue for me in the past has just been being around, the music, the typical, you're coming in at 2 a.m. partying. Why is this girl calling you when it's really just a artist call? Well, they're in LA, so they're 3 hours behind us. Simple stuff like that. So I got tired of fighting that. And I'm just more on I guess as some people call like a free spirited type thing. I'm just like that. If I'm at a point now where if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But my focus, and that's the thing. I think another issue I had is a lot of women don't take the time to get to know the person. When if you're going to be in a relationship, it takes a year to get to know somebody. It literally takes 12 months before you really can see everything, because here's what I can tell you. Time will always tell you everything. This goes for when women always trying to figure out what kind of guy. Listen, you can only lie about who you are for so long.
For so long, yes, that
so
is very
long.
true.
Well, you know, it takes a year to get somebody, but I'm on a free spirit. I'm just like, look, this is what it is. If it works that way, great. But I'm done with the whole trying to put all your effort into that.
Make something happen. It's like,
yeah, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. I know what I want. I want to be in a relationship. Yeah, I love it. Great. Right. So I got a quick story. I brought a girl from I met her online, of course, and I brought her, and a lot of people will call me a fool for it, but once again, just being wholehearted. I brought a girl from Venezuela to Massachusetts through the I-134A program. Thought that was going to be great. That as soon
as she got to the United States, she was like, see ya.
Literally. And but here's the thing. I did not want, because it was a different person when she was in Venezuela. Mm-hmm. You understand? It was a whole different vibe when she was in Venezuela. Then she's here, and then I'm noticing you're on your phone a lot in America. You've been, so it was just like, okay. So
and I can understand that too. Like I've dated, like, my ex-husband, they were from the Dominican Republic. So, I know that, but I met them here, not over there. But I did get to date, like, once out there. And I mean, I just couldn't. Like, I'm the type of person, I can't get down like that. All that long distance stuff, and your internet works here and it don't work there. We ain't doing all of that, bro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If one day you're in the United States, that's my phone number. Give me a ring and we're going to link up. If one day I'm in DR, I'm going to link you. Hey, where you at? We can get up. But after that, yeah, we ain't doing all of that. You ain't stressing me. Right now, high blood pressure is a very big risk for us.
Yeah.
For real.
If somebody gonna have high blood pressure, it's gonna be you over me when I'm very silent, because I love playing the silent game too. Yep. But I'm like you.
I think
too.
You live and learn. I think you live and learn, and I think over time you just begin to have this. I was saying to somebody a couple of weeks ago is that growing up, I was very optimistic, and life changed me. You know what I'm saying? I was so in love with that word, optimism. I'm like, I'm an optimist. Now I'm like, I've seen people. I know how they operate. I don't believe.
I've seen everything.
I'm like, because there's characters, there's so many masks, and it's like layers of onions with people, especially over 35. I feel like you already come with baggage. You already come with trauma. You already come with relationship red flags. So it's like, okay, now I just have to open myself up again to figure out a new person. And I think you get tired. Before, when I was young, I used to say, I would never be like that. I'm always going to have somebody. I'm always going to, find a new relationship. Now I'm like, not so sure. I'm like, I don't know. I think I've ran my course with like the whole soulmates, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna find that. Maybe in a different lifetime, but not in this lifetime. I think that like I told D, we on tour right now. It's like I'm done with the relationship thing. I want to date. I want to see what it's like, and I want to figure out what it is that I'm actually yearning for from a partner. You know what I'm saying? Because I think I'm so self-sufficient. I think after being single for so long, you become self-sufficient to the point that I don't even know how to share my bed. You know what I'm saying? What? Sleep in my bed? Like, I don't know how to do that. Like, and that for me was when I realized like I had become conditioned in a way that a lot of women in their 40s are now. I find there's a lot of women that don't even care to date. You know what I'm saying? They're like, yeah, no, I'm good. Like, I don't want to go out and meet nobody. Like, it's just like, it's hard because you become, like I said, post-traumatic dating disorder. You know what I'm saying? I think we all suffer from it at some point in life. It's like, once you had that first heartbreak and you had that disappointment and you really trusted and believed in someone and you gave it your all wholeheartedly and they destroy that image, it changes you. You know what I'm saying? And how do you get back? So last week, D, we had dating reset. on, and they are a podcast who focuses on how do you reset from dating, you know, in regards to your next date or your next, you know, person that you're pursuing. It's like resetting, taking away all the frustrations and the drama from your past situation and actually resetting your mind to
Self-healing,
dating.
going through
So
kind of like your self-healing journey before putting yourself back out there on the market and stuff, you know, because a lot of people, they're quick to jump relationship to relationship. They don't mind to day you out, the next day somebody else is in.
yeah,
But
that's scary.
this relationship dating podcast is supposed to be really good because the way they engage is they're not there to tell you how to date. They're actually there to have you come on actually in person to where they're podcasting and share your story.
Mm.
So
You
I'm gonna
know,
recommend you to go
Uh-oh.
dating reset, and we're
Dating
gonna have
reset.
D Sharp pull up, and we're
we,
gonna
that
figure out some ways to get some dating reset tips.
Oh yeah,
And
no, I'm with it. I'm with it. Yeah.
I was even, like I said, I was even, you know, I did the speed dating once, and I was like, yeah, this ain't gonna work. Like, you know, like I'm like, yeah, no, like I don't even know if I'm so scared, D, to meet people on the internet now. Like that for me, the catfishing. Once catfishing came out, I was all set. I was like, yeah, no, you ain't gonna find me on the internet. You're gonna have to see me in traffic. Like guys hit me up all the time, and I'm like, you look nice, but I'm too scared. Like you
I
meet
can say I
a
can say
picture
like
in videos.
15 years
That's
ago.
not people. Yeah, Denise, this is what I'm saying. 15 years ago, we were meeting guys on the
15
internet. Like, oh,
years
I met this
ago
guy.
when we had the AOL.
I don't know.
Yeah, AOL, AOL.
Remember
Yeah,
the
yeah.
AOL T?
Yeah.
Remember when you used to have to dial in? I met
Yeah.
one or two people back in the AOL days. After that, I said, guess what? If I don't see you in person and I don't know you, me and you, we can't talk. Don't put your camera on and don't ask me for a picture. Because I don't got a picture, I don't got a video, and I don't do video streaming. I got to feel. I'm a feely, touchy type of person. So it's not going to work, you know?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you so, nah, it has nothing to do
Because
about
it
that. And I
gets
can be
old.
whatever you want me to be. But the plain simple fact is this. I don't know what you're going to do with my stuff later on. I'm an 80s baby. I'm somebody that I love a man to come bring me some flowers. You smell good. Don't ask me for a picture. And please don't ask me to turn around. I don't want to turn around. I don't want to touch my toes. I don't want to do none of that for you. Unless you're cash apping me or you're sending me some type of money, we ain't playing those games, brother love. And I don't want you to show me your little 2-piece over there because I've been seeing 2-piece, 20-piece, and 40 pieces. 2, 20, and 40. I ain't interested. Feel me?
Wow.
And that's where my mindset be at. And they be like,
you don't think that's a little aggressive though?
no, keep it. I don't want it. The man that's gonna like me, he's gonna like me when he see me, when he's near me, when he talks to me, when he sees what type of structured lifestyle I live, how disciplined I am. I'm not sitting here wasting my time with you. We wasted a lot of time. I've had my fun. I've partied. I've popped bottles. I've traveled. I've educated myself. I got played and dragged. I've dragged and played. We self-loving over here, and I'm waiting for my king to come and meet and match my energy. You know, I'm not coming down and I ain't going up either. I'm gonna stay right here where I'm at. And in God's time, he's gonna give me that other person. Meanwhile, I'm gonna continue to have fun. And I'm gonna continue to sit right here, look at y'all, and I'm gonna sit here and say, thank you, God, it's them and not me. This is good over here, you know.
Wow.
We all have experiences, D. But T and I have been friends for about 23 years now. And she knows that most of my life I've been stable. I'm like that 10-year relationship person, 5-year. I can't jump back and forth. I don't catch interest in people like that. I like my stability, and I like to understand people because I feel that no matter what, none of us are the same. I feel like communication is the big thing. And I think that if you find somebody that's able to talk to you, respect you, trust you, understand you, there's nothing that you two can't work together to kind of like come up with a solution for things, you know. But after that, I don't have time for games. And I am very jealous. Spanish women, we are very jealous. Hours is hours. Yes, we are very like. I want to watch TV. ¿Quién era esa? Huh? Tú me entendiste. ¿Quién era esa? Like these said, I can't stand these girls. You want to know who's on my phone? It's my mom. Why it says Tarasha? Because that's her middle name. You feel? So Spanish girls, we are very like, it's mine. Some other people, they don't mind. But us, Mia. Why? Yes. Because when we're giving you head, foot, toe, butt, and everything else, you true. Like your stuff clean, right? So I want my stuff clean too.
True.
Could you imagine me being outside, doing all types of stuff and coming home and saying, hey, baby, I brought you some cake. Oh, it already got the whipped cream, by the way. You don't take your butt out of my, you know? So, I mean, it's a two-way river, and we keeping it PG right now.
It is, but I adding to what you said, though, I think a big key to that is, number one, setting boundaries and everybody knowing their roles. And I think the biggest issue in relationship is people are having they're having misunderstandings of their job requirements. A woman, just scientifically, a woman can do things a man can't do, and scientifically, a man can do things a woman can't do. And for some reason, it's become a competition, unfortunately.
Yes, you know? I said this too, D.
I really
said the same thing.
Yeah, I think people have a problem with knowing their position. And I've always, when it comes to being in a relationship, I've always looked at it like, if the man is the head, then the woman is the neck that turns the head, you know? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we gotta, I don't know. I just think people really need to get back to the basic core values of relationships, because it's crazy right now.
Because I feel like I feel like with you're a gentleman. You know what I'm saying? Like, from what I see in regards to how you court and how you date, like, you take women out, you wine, you dine them, you take them shopping. Like my cousin, you know, is a real gentleman. You know what I'm saying? And that for me is like, guys like you are the guys that end up getting tarnished by bad women. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I started seeing that in some of your posts, just through your relationship, you know, situations where you'd be like, you know, like negative about certain things. And I'm like, about dating. And I got it because I'm like, he's a good guy that is living in a world of women that are alpha, that think that they don't know their role. They're trying to be the player, trying to be what they think is, you know, oh, I got to be a gold digger. Oh, I got to, you know, see what he can offer me. Instead of you coming to the plate with something to offer, you're looking for a man that's going to offer you something. And that for me is a problem with women. And I never wanted to be that woman. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to say, listen, if things go bad, I know I can hold us down. You know what I'm saying? But I want a man who knows how to lead. I want a man who's going to take the reins and be the man. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to be the man in a relationship. But I find that in the urban community, it's very hard for women. I got to the point where I only dated I didn't even date black men anymore. You know what I'm saying? Just I felt like there was a stigma. There was a certain criteria of men that I was engaging with that just weren't getting it and they didn't come from what I came from. My grandparents were married for 50 years. Like, I come from married families, from families who expect the man is the man and the wife is the wife, and you hold it down and you know, take care of your partner. I never seen my grandparents argue. None of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they did argue, they did that behind closed doors. They never disrespected each other in public, to, you know, in front of other people. Like, it's just a certain level of discipline and caterance that, and grooming, I think, that I grew up and raised around, that now when I'm like, you don't get that. And I think a lot of men, they think the crazy toxic shit is love. Like, where I'm not doing all that. I'm not fucking running behind you, chasing you, breaking windows, busting out tires. Like, bro, if I gotta do all that to prove that I love you, it ain't gonna work.
It ain't gonna work. Yeah, man. Too much energy. Remember, before, the women used to chase like that energy. They wanted the energy. They wanted that attention. It's like the men are doing it now. And we also live, like, in an unbalanced world, because there's a lot of women that have took the time to educate themselves to get these career opportunities to make more money so that they don't have to deal with these men, because they've noticed that a lot of men nowadays, and if you look at the population, look at it scientifically too, women are up there when it comes to careers, when it comes to finances, when it comes for being the face to a lot of different companies. When back in the day, you really never saw women. So back in the days, women tolerated a little more because they needed to depend on that other person, or financially or family wise. But a lot of men, they see women nowadays as a competition, because I've even heard it from men say to me, like, oh, because you've done this or you've done that, you're better than me. There is no better thing, my love. Me and you, we're both humans. You know, some of us are ahead in the race, some of us are behind. I don't look at potential. I look at what you're doing in your life right now. We can all talk a good talk, but are you walking your walk? I don't just
That's
talk.
right.
Every day I get up and I walk. And I've been doing this since I'm 14. So I have 30 years on my belt, raising kids, raising a family, holding it down, educating myself, going for that higher career opportunity, believing in myself. What are you doing with yourself? You know? And I think that people need to have real conversations. It's not just about I like you and what's your favorite color. There's no such thing as, oh, chemistry in a relationship. In order for you to have a profitable relationship, I think you need to find the balance. You don't need somebody exactly like you. Why do you want someone just like you? Are you, what type of person are you? Sometimes you need the opposite of who you are so that it can bring that balance into your relationship. I don't care what your favorite color is or what sports you wear or what your favorite boxes are. I have other things in mind. What God do you serve? Where are you at in your financial world? Where are you at in your mind, in your healing journey? What do you have to offer me? How can I help you in return? You know? And I think that until people don't have those conversations, you're not ready for a relationship. You're ready for a good time. You know? Oh, chemistry, you like that? I like that too. Oh, you like it when people do that? I like that too. Feel me? We can do that. But relationship and chemistry are two different things. And I just think people like you, D, have to be, you know, that's one of the things that I've respected out of this whole conversation that you said. I speak up. I let people know what's going to go on here. I give you the opportunity to accept it. I respect you and I wish you well. I'm not trying to disrespect your body. I'm not trying to waste your time. Just me and you, we on a mutual agreement right now. And after this, I'm going to keep it going, you know? And that is the best thing any man can do for a woman, because it's like you say, us women, we get crazy. When we feel like you came and ate this cake and you playing,
Yeah.
we're going to
well,
look at you like,
well, this is a research.
all of that for this?
This
But
is
you
a
know what?
research.
It's crazy when she's actually a good woman and you still do that. That's like you are the dumbest.
I be wanting to fight, but I just pray, like, God, thank you. You removed them. Thank you. Because
So one of the things that
his tongue.
I asked Google, it says, why is it difficult to date a musician? One of the emotional challenges facing musicians then is how much time they feel they can responsibly give to two sets of relationships, both of which they have often heavily invested in terms of time, commitment, financial outlay, and emotional investment, their partners and families, and their music making career. So, like we just said, like both just said about balance and, just being transparent and actually having that, discipline to give both, like there's, sometimes where I look back where my family is like, oh, why do you got to go to that show? Or why do you got to do this? And I would still make time for my family, but I would also make time for my career and what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? And just know that I have to sacrifice. I was thinking about that the other day, D, like about how, how many sacrifices have I made to pursue this music career? You know what I'm saying? Like relationships. Like I've walked out on situations where I'm like, yeah, no, I got to go do this music thing. I got to go on tour. I got to go, like I'm working on this, project with this artist. That was more important to me than sitting down and having a dinner with my family sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And I
But
just
you know
had to
what?
make sacrifices.
You know what I want to say to that, T? You're a builder. So you have to understand you're in a different position because you're a builder. And when you're building, you see things differently from most people. So there could be the worst pile of land over there with the worst conditions, but being the person that you are, you can look at that with your intelligence, size it up. You're going to do your research because you're a thorough woman. You're going to do your research. You're going to size it up. You're going to be like, you know what? If I can pull off this, and this, that's going to work. Here's the problem. A lot of times when you're building something, people don't see that vision. No. You know when they see the vision? When the house is built, when the pool's in the back, you got the basketball court over there. Here they come want to put the number on the door saying they house.
I know you can do it. You know what I'm saying? I did. Of course we know I can do it. Yeah. We made it.
Listen, so I say that to say, don't ever question yourself, T, and don't even get mad at people because, you know, and even with what I do, because I've always been an entrepreneurship, and I can't get mad at somebody who's more comfortable with going out, getting a wage, and just being capped at, 60, 70 grand a year. For me, that's kind of a problem. But I'm not judging people. It's a different balance. So you can't, what I say that to say, don't question yourself. Just always see your vision through. Always see it through. And people eventually get it.
Yeah. And it's so crazy because now dudes are hitting me up and they're like, yo, I see you. I see what you're doing. I see. Now you know why I dissed you. Now you know why I told you it's not the right time for me.
But you know what? You don't even have to do that. You don't even got to. You ain't even got to say nothing to him. Just, all right, cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But it's like when people don't really understand your vision and understand what you're, like, I don't want to get involved in situations that I know are not going to push me forward. You know what I'm saying? And I have to be around a man or someone who's going to be my genuine supporter. A lot of these guys, they just want to deal with the girl that they know is popular or that all the guys want. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to this social media and media attention and brand influencing and all this stuff, it's like, oh, now I got the girl that all these guys are on her comments saying things. Yeah, I'm the one tapping at. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, no, I need someone who's going to be a genuine team player who is going to see this vision through with me. You know what I'm saying? Because if you were selling something, I would be right next to you selling it with you as your partner. You know what I'm saying? So until I see that as a whole, like, I don't even have to ask you to do it as my partner. What's the sense, at this point? Like,
but that's the background we came up in too, T. Like, you got my back, I got your back. That's kind of like our upbringing. And so that's kind of like the expectation that we hold a lot of people to. But that's not the way the world is. And me and you, we understand that nowadays. Just because you scratch somebody's back today, it doesn't mean they're going to scratch your back. They'll walk away and be like, I didn't even ask you to scratch my back, if you want to be honest. Today and day, you have to completely stay focused on you. And they always say that when you're rising up and you get into the top, it gets lonely. But I prefer to be alone after this whole life that I experienced than to have a bunch of fake people around me supporting me. They always say that it's a stranger that's going to come and support your vision before your own people. And this is something that I'm a firm believer in. I believe that somebody that don't know you will come and invest into you before someone you got in your corner will come and invest. Because everybody's in competition and nobody wants to see you above them. And I'm the type of person that if I'm up here and I can give you a hand because you're doing the work, I'm going to give you a hand. But if you're coming for a handout, I'm sorry. I raised my kids. I got my job. I put in the work. I went to school. I had the sleepless nights to get up here. You got to come and reach up, to where I'm at this point. Because I used to do a lot of pulling down. Oh, I can help him. I can help her. And at the end, I don't even think I got a thank you in return from a lot was.
And you know what? I'm glad you brought that up. And that's why I'm so much in a different space right now. I'm always the type of person, if I do something for somebody, I don't care if they're asking me to borrow $5. If it's not in my heart, I'm not going to do it. Because once I do something, I'm doing it. I don't expect nothing in return. I'm just doing it just to be nice. You were in your time of need, I can help you. If I ain't feeling, I'm not going to do it. Because I think that's a big mistake a lot of people make too. As soon as something don't go their way and they don't get what they want, oh, well, I did this for you, you owe me this. That's where people go wrong. You got too many expectations. And first of all, your intentions weren't genuine.
And a lot of these millennial people, though, a lot of this new generation, though, everybody's coming with they need a hand. So even when your intentions are good and they talk to you, can you help me? Can I borrow? Can I do this? Can you do that? You know, and me, I'm like you. If I feel like my whole life I grew up in the hood and I had to make my way up. So I'm all about loving everybody from the poor all the way up. I see a CEO and I see a crackhead as the same type of people. We people. I got the same respect for everybody. Your personal choice is your personal choice. However, if you come to me and you see that I'm at a certain place in my life where, you know, you think I'm naive enough to kind of like invest into you, everything that I'm doing from my heart. So you can never blame me. You know, once the truth is out there, though, you giving me now the option to say, God, you saw my intentions. I'll take the loss, keep whatever it is that you may owe me. And now I got freedom and you're still in the same position because you didn't even do nothing with the handout either.
And you know what? And you know what? When you do things like that, D, it always comes back, and it comes always back. I don't care. It could be something as simple as somebody giving me $10 off on a meal. It's like, oh, okay, great. It always comes back. It always.
And it comes back in double and triple. You know, like in ways you never imagined.
That's the one thing I love about you is that you're so humble through everything that I've seen you accomplish and just the people that you're around. You have this humble, genuine vibe about you. And that for me is important in this life. You know what I'm saying? Is to be grateful. Like people are like, T, how are you so grateful? Like they have this perception of me online that I'm this snooty, you know, arrogant, you know, just, you know, I think I'm better than, and then when they meet me and they see I'm down to earth and I'm very reserved and I'm really a little more shyer in person because I'm very selective about energy now as I get older and who I give my energy to, who I'm interacting with. And I think it has to be, you know, choices in life, like of what level of life are you at, like that you want to be interacting or entertaining a certain type of conversation. And that's where I learned to, you know, like be a little more reserved and be a lot more observant and not as optimistic. You know what I'm saying? Because people will show you who they really are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, actions prove why words mean nothing. You know what I'm saying to me? And I'm gonna watch you. I'm gonna observe you. I'm gonna see how you interact. I'm gonna see how you move and how you work, what your work ethic is. And that's important to me at this point in life. You know what I'm saying? It's just being more observant of energy and people. So I just, you know, the one thing I wanted to say too is I wanted to, you know, tell you guys about, you know, some upcoming ideas that I have going on. I wanted to do kind of like a dating show, and we basically matchmake people and basically have a restaurant sponsor it, and we, you know, basically, you know, just go through these dating quarrels in New England. And so, D, I want you to be a part of this. I think that, you know, we could definitely brainstorm and figure out some great ideas, incorporate some music, even maybe do a couple of artist ones, you know, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, just go on real genuine dates and teach people how to date again, how to, you know, not just hook up, because hooking up doesn't really get you anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I would rather walk away from a hookup and have a genuine friend now than us just hooking up and never speaking again. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because I think that there is chemistry, opposites attract, but certain opposites attract. And that, you know, something drew us together. Like I always say to people, I never dated bad men. I just dated bad men for me. They're not bad guys. You know what I'm saying? But they're bad for me. They weren't the right partner. They weren't the right match. And I think that was another thing that they said in musician dating is that there's a mismatch, and that's because the lines are blurred. That's because we're only seeing the highlight reels of this person. We're not seeing the real person. So you're just taking that person for face value. Like Dee said, get to know someone. Actually, you don't get to know someone for a year. Nowadays, it could be 2 years.
And even after that, you can be with somebody forever and not really know their intentions. I mean, I spent a year and a half with somebody that I thought that this person was all up in my face, all up in my space, all up in my energy. And at the same time, he was video recording me, taking pictures of me, sending it to his baby mom. Like, I can't talk. She's right here, doing like all this stuff behind me in my energy. And I had just went through a loss. I had just lost my little brother, and I was really vulnerable, and I wasn't paying attention, and I really thought that this person had my back. They was going to church with me. We was doing, but then it's like, when you're somebody that you believe in God, and that no matter what, things are going to happen, and you start asking for revelation, God will give it to you. And then whenever he gives it to you, it's your choice to do what you need to do, in order to feel that peace again. And when I saw it, and the other person started confirming it, and I started seeing what was going on, she's right there. I was just like, all right, bet. I waited, and then I cut them off. And you know what I gave them?
I got a question for both of you guys. I got a question. So at this point, with all the relationships you've been in, and this is for both of y'all, with all the relationships you've been in, do you feel like out of any of them, there was anything you could have done better?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like, I think one of the biggest things that I learned in my life is when you're not healed, when you don't heal from your childhood traumas, and you don't heal from your previous relationships, and you don't take time to balance yourself, to love yourself again, to speak kind to yourself, to be positive to yourself, especially after dealing with so many relationships, kids, hookups, whatever circumstance. Once you allow somebody in your space, inside of you, you've made a connection spiritually, physically, or whatever. And until you don't clear all of that out, you can't be genuine to someone else. And I feel like one of my biggest things was I let too many people tell me, either I had kids or I had this. And I believed a lot of the lies people told me. So going into good relationships, Tino's my kids' fathers, very nice men. They're not perfect, but they're good men. They weren't good for me, And I stood with them a long time because I never wanted anybody to talk about me. Oh, look at her. She got this. So people pleasing thing. But I should have cut these motherfuckers off, like, excuse the bad words. I should have cut them off like right from the beginning. But to offer my kids some type of stability, I stood. If there was a better way that I could have acted, it was I would have went and I would have did the work to heal me first, so that God could have given me someone, that matched where it was that I was trying to get, and together support each other to build a really good team. I needed to do some me work, I don't know if that makes sense.
I think it was the communication factor for me. I didn't know how to properly communicate what I wanted and what I felt. You know what I'm saying? If I started to think, or I got a red flag that you was cheating, like you're giving me signs or you're doing things, then I'm cheating. Then I'm going off and I'm out the door. I'm like, listen, I'm as soon as a guy made me feel like I wasn't his priority, I'm gone. And that for me was like, maybe if you would have took the time to actually say what you felt or communicated how you felt and what you were thinking and what you expected, then maybe look at Journey. Maybe, it would have been a better outcome. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't been a lot of the BS and the miscommunication. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of it too, a lot of women are scared. Like, I think my biggest fear is rejection. You know what I'm saying? Is you not agreeing to what I want. You know what I'm saying? So I can't tell you how I feel, because what if you tell me no? Then I'm like, I'm heartbroken. You know what I'm saying? Because that has happened. Like, where you like, I'm in love, and they're like, I'm not in love. I'm just in love.
It does happen.
You know what I'm saying? Like, a person can tell you that. And I've been that person too, because many of guys will be like, I'm in love with you. And I'm like, I don't feel that.
And I'll be like, I ain't in love with you.
Right,
I can't even lie to you.
Well, hold on, but what if that was the guy though? What if that was the guy?
I know.
It could be, but how would we ever know though, right?
But I was like, I made mistakes. Like, instead of me just getting to know someone, I judge them by face value. I feel like I probably let the guy of my dreams go away just because of face value. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, he's not where he's supposed to be, or certain things that I wasn't willing to work or see past. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's important too, is that sometimes you can't just see a person for face value, you know? And at this point though, like we were talking a couple of weeks ago about women in their 40s, we don't fall for potential anymore. Fuck potential. I need you to come already there. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's okay for me to want that and for me to have that. You know what I'm saying? Like I have my own place. I need you to have your own place. I need you to have your own car. I need, like, I think those type of circumstances, when you become codependent on somebody, it's already a damaging relationship. I find that there's people out here dating and not financially stable. And that for me is a big fucking problem. I'm sorry, excuse my language for whoever doesn't swear, but I want you to know how serious this is to me. Like, how are you dating and you're not financially stable? Like, as a woman, as a man, you know what I'm saying? Like, we shouldn't be doing that. You should be financially stable. I'm not saying that, you know, finances is the biggest point, but it is a big point in why people break up. So
America,
obviously,
it's the number
one factor for real.
Factor. And it ain't even about who's richer. It's not about who's richer. It's about, listen, if we're gonna be together, we're gonna need some money. Period.
That's right.
Especially if you're somebody that you like catching the flight, you like your little vacation days, right. You don't like the stress of, am I gonna have an apartment today or tomorrow? I feel like the way I see things too nowadays is, before some things were sacred, right? Now, very rare the things that are sacred. I've had people act like they praying to God, just lying. Like, oh, I'm doing this and I'm holding on to this because lying. Like, if you can lie on God, on your kids, on your money, on yourself, I cannot partake in none of your shenanigans, you know? If I'm a female that I raised 8 kids and I have 5 kids graduated, 5 through college, I got 3 left at home. I've been holding my own apartment down, been drive whatever car I want, been give myself the life I want. Any man that comes into my life got to be at the same level as me, because I've a lot of times have come down from where I'm at to go help somebody, or not even help them, to give them even a vision. If you ask people, where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years? They're like, I don't know. If you don't know, you cannot talk to me.
No.
For real.
You ain't got no goals. You ain't got no goals. You ain't got no goals. Like, no.
God just put you here for no reason.
We all have a
purpose.
Don't want to do nothing.
Just get up every day and complain about your life? No, we ain't doing that. I'm grateful when I'm broke. I'm grateful when things are good. I'm grateful when things are excellent. And I'm very optimistic, like T says, and I'm positive. I'm not optimistic when it comes to people because I'm very spiritual. I will connect with you. I will see what's up. And then after, I will cut you off accordingly, or I'll stay with you and continue, to show you that I am a good woman. One of the biggest things with women like us is we love catering to our men. Honey,
yeah. If
did you eat?
My man,
are you
I'm
good?
rolling out the red carpet. Like, I'm gonna take care of you, and that's what men don't understand. They're like, wait a minute, you were so nice to me when we were dating. Now you're like, whatever, fix your own food. Yeah, like, no, you don't get the hubby routine. You don't get all of that. Like, listen, we're not.
It's not for everybody.
That I really am invested. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's the difference, is that you decide who that person is to you and how you treat them. I treat you how I want to be treated first, and then I treat you how you treat me. You know what I'm saying? And people don't like that. They're like, whoa, wait a minute. Like,
why are you being bitter? It's not better.
No, I'm going to show you a good time. I'm going to show you the best world ever when you're in my world, when you're in my space, when you're my person. You know what I'm saying? But when you start showing me that you don't have the same energy towards me, it makes me fall back, and it makes me decide, okay, I can't give this person all of me. I can't give them 100 because they're not showing me and giving me 100. You know what I'm saying? So I think it works both ways. It's a balance. And a lot of times I find that there's more people in relationships now that it's one-sided. You know what I'm saying? Or they don't feel equal.
Very one-sided.
And I just feel like, listen, I don't want to be in that situation. I don't want to be, questioning, like, how much did you do for me and how much did I do for you? Like, what? Yeah. Like, we gotta do that.
We don't do tit for tat, no.
Yeah, nah, we're not doing that in 2024. So I'm excited. I think that, this was a great topic today to have.
This
and I think
was.
I want you to come back, be more of a, co-host for the men.
Yes,
whatever
come back. You
you
do great. Your energy is great.
I haven't done any one of these at all yet.
I know. And when you said, I think this will be perfect, and I was like, it is, because I just feel like you have that open-minded, sense of communication, of I don't want to say communication, but just the open-mindedness that some men don't have. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're very sheltered, they're very one-track minded, and you can be open to hearing both sides. And I think that's important. I think understanding in this life is very important. People listen to respond, they don't listen to understand. And that was always my biggest thing with people is, I want to understand you. I want to know why you think what you think. You know what I'm saying?
But the problem is that you'd actually have to start using your brain, and a lot of people don't like to use their brain.
They don't like it.
It requires people don't want to learn new things, so how are you ever going to really grow if you're not learning?
And everybody thinks they're right, and if you think that you're right all the time, you don't give yourself the place to grow, because you're not always going to be right. This is a world full of people. And D, what type of producing do you do? You said you do music, and what else?
Yeah, for the last like 20 some odd years, I had been doing anything from R&B. Well, I started off strong in R&B. We got our first record deal from Elektra, Sylvia Rhone. Worked with Missy, Timbaland, all that. That was years ago. But I started out doing like R&B, hip hop. And then I started venturing out. Once again, just venturing out, because I'm a musician at the same time as being a songwriter, producer. And I just started learning about different music and different trends. And I was like, I like this too. Why do I gotta be, just because I'm a Negro, I gotta be locked into R&B?
Right.
So I started getting into EDM and pop, and it opened up, once again, just taking the time, because every genre has its own criteria, its own, certain steps and rules you follow. But once you learn, it's great. It's learning, and it opened up a big door for me, especially in terms of contacts, in terms of people, people who I know. I was able to meet a lot more people who contributed to my growth and development as a person. So I did a lot of it. I did R&B, hip hop. I got a gospel album I did with some guys.
Okay.
He is so
gospel too. Okay.
He is so versatile and so dope. And I'm just so glad that we're related now. Like,
I know.
It was so crazy, because I'm like, dude, this is the one person that I follow that I'm always inspired and motivated by. And his, like, our way of thinking in a lot of senses was like right on point. Like, where I'm like, dude, I feel like I know him before I even knew him. And it was just so crazy when I posted my grandfather's obituary, and he's like, that's my uncle. I'm like, what?
That is crazy.
So
are you doing anything out in Colombia? Are you doing any type of recording?
You know what? Honestly, I love being in Colombia, because they don't just listen. There's different varieties of music. So I love that aspect of it. But I am out here, I'm out here partially for vacation. But I've lately, for the last, even for 20 years ago, but for some reason, the last 2 years, I've had a deep fascination with like world history and how it all plays into America, which is a whole nother topic. But I'm
very into all of that too. I love history and going back.
The stuff I've been learning is just mind blowing. But I'm not doing anything in particular, just vacationing and taking in the local.
I don't know, but I felt me and T, and what was it? Was it a green one or was it a red one? What type of car was it that we seen on D's page, T, that we said, oh, we're gonna go hang out with him for sure?
Which one?
Which car was it? The light green one.
Where a red or a green one?
What the car that he was in? Remember?
Oh, was it the Corvette?
Was it the Corvette? I'm pretty sure it was.
Oh, the Corvette.
Oh, no, the Corvette. Cool, but there was no green Corvette though.
No, we saw a couple different cars. I was okay, see, we need to go sit up in that little flatback. I mean, I could go rent one, But we would look cute,
Hey.
all three of us together. You know, like let's go on
But
vacation.
you know what? You want to hear something crazy? So my first car that I wanted, or my dream car that I always wanted, was a Maserati. So what did I do? I started going to the dealership, just sitting in it,
Okay.
Sitting in it. I would rent it. You can go on Turo, rent it. I rented it.
Rent it. Okay.
I want to say within a year and a half, like I had my own Maserati. It was like
you manifested it. You got up in there. Right? You said, "This is what I want to be in." You started feeling it, and you said, "This is where I'm gonna work." And that's you manifested it right up into you. A lot of people don't know about manifesting, but that's a whole nother topic.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people. I'm surprised at how many people don't even know about The Secret, which is like basic. You know, that's basic if you're gonna start getting into that.
A lot of people don't even know about the real Bible, but we ain't gonna go there either. Or religion, or anything else. But we're gonna leave that for another day.
We can't go there because we already are at an hour and a half.
Over.
Can you hear me?
Conversation is good, so we are over.
We're already at an hour and a half, so I want to wrap it up. I know D is gonna have this. But I wanted to thank you guys for tuning in, all of our guests. I want to just shout out everybody that tuned in. Your boy Loco. He was just at the We Fair in Atlanta. So shout out to him because we do have an interview with him next week. Not next week, next month. Dougie TV. Shout out to you. Shout out to Up North City Girls, Fall River, Stand Up, BBR, Jig Sykes. We see you, Jigs. Thank you for continually supporting us. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that's been tuning in, and just give your, comments, leave, like, share, subscribe. Make sure you check out D Sharp Entertainment on all social media platforms. D, is there anything you want to say before we end this?
No, you listen. I had a great time. I want to thank you both for inviting me. It's been fun. I really hope we can do this again. And like I said, whatever you guys need from me, if I can do it,
can you guys hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you both.
Yeah, no, whatever you guys need, I'm there. Just check me out on wherever you stream music. D Sharp ENT, D Sharp ENT, wherever you stream music.
I'll make sure I'm in there following you too. Follow back.
Thanks, D. Sure. Send me some more pictures.
I definitely will, ladies.
Look forward to the next one.
Because I'm into world history. Humanities and English was my number one subjects in school. And it's funny because I was really going to be a lawyer. Like that was where my grandmothers both were like, you need to go to law school. But then when I seen you had to go for 4 more years, I started pursuing theater and entertainment. And they're like, no, you needed to go to law school. And I'm like,
you would have been a great lawyer too.
Stop playing. This music thing, it's so iffy. Right.
Yeah.
Well, I would have been Perry Mason, the Mrs. Perry Mason. Trust me.
That's funny.
It isn't. But thank you, D. Definitely send me some pictures.
I will. All right, ladies. Thank you.
All right. Happy Sunday. Many blessings. Talk to y'all later.
Happy Sunday. All right, boo. Shout out everybody. Jig, I see you still leaving comments. If you need help with the promo, holla at me. You already know. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe this right now, baby. We out here. Up North City Girls. Miss TML, Miss D, we in the building. Happy Sunday. Make sure y'all tune into the next one. This week, I got Brian Gert on Real Talk with TML. Also, your boy Loke. He's going to be, no, not your boy Loke. C-Dot Loke, actually. He's going to be on Wednesday. So, yeah, Tuesday will be Brian Gert. Wednesday is C-Dot Loke. I look forward to everybody tuning in. Make sure you leave comments. I'm going to read your comments every time you put a comment under this. So even if it's not said today, it'll be said on the next show. Okay? Denise, anything else you want to say?
Nope. It's been a pleasure co-hosting for you, and we'll get up soon. Hey, great topic. Great topic. Good vibes.
Yeah. D is dope. I love him. Shout out to D
Yeah.
Nation. Make sure, like you said, at the bottom of the screen, D Sharp Entertainment. You can find him on all social media platforms as well. You can find him in the description uh of this live on all social media platforms. All his information is there as well. Thank you guys and have a great Sunday. D, I'm gonna tune us out, okay?
Later. All right, ma.
Okay, boo. Bye.